Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for the finale of What If Season 3, the series finale, in fact. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall we? Leave a like, comment below, let them know your thoughts on What If as a whole, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So it's over. It's officially over. However, I did note that on Disney Plus, it says season finale. It does not say series finale, even though this show really did put it as if it was we're done. It is over. And I do think that is a little sad. Like, I am a little sad that it is done. If it says season finale on there, so if they do come back for a season 4, I would subscribe to come on back in and watch another roundup of these scenarios. I do think there were some missed opportunities within the show overall, but when it comes to this finale as well, I think this just falls from maybe a little too much escalation, which is a little silly to say, but at some point, like, it just became noise. It really did, like the way they were just fighting each other. I like the race against the clock where, okay, we got Ultron trying to keep them down a little, keep the other Watchers down a little bit. They have an actual group, but I cannot remember what the name of that group is called for the life of me, so y'all got to bear with me. But the other Watchers are being put down by Infinity, Ultron, and Ultron, is keeping them down for the most part. You have the race against the clock to get to Doctor Strange's universe that he created. And that, on that point, I was in. Like, I was really locked in. I was looking forward to it. No intro. I was like, okay, all right, yeah, we're just going to keep this momentum going from yesterday's episode. It was going very, very well. And then once, they broke out and they killed Ultron. And then they beat him up, and yeah, we're a few universes short. And then it became a big scrap fight. And then they become Watchers themselves, are Guardians of the Multiverse, which was pretty cool. Again, y'all know me. I don't mind it when, we just keep overpowering our heroes. I mean, Season 2 is my favorite season overall out of the 3 of What Ifs, and a lot of that is to how much they just kept beefing up Captain Carter and, again, I cannot remember her name, but the original character that we created in Season 2. That part I didn't mind. And then they started fighting each other, and it was pretty cool. And then they kept fighting each other. And then they kept fighting each other. And then they kept fighting each other. I was like, all right, come on, get on with it. Like, let's get to the next part of it. And we keep coming back to our main Watcher, voiced by Jeffrey Wright, who what was his real name? Uatu, I believe. And then, facing against the other Watcher, and they have these conversations like, this isn't us, this isn't us, this isn't what we're doing. You broke that oath. You have the consequences of choices. This is the consequence of yours. They keep fighting each other. And then they finally have them beat. They're getting destroyed. And they got him dead to rights. They're all having their powers, forcing it onto them. It goes, look, just yield, just yield. We don't want to kill you. Just yield, just yield, just yield, just yield. And then the Watcher goes, stop. I'm like, oh no. And at that point, then again, it just kept going. It just kept accelerating. It just kept accelerating. It just kept accelerating. I like the visuals. Don't get me wrong. I like the visuals quite a bit, especially with the whole, oh, hey, Crash. Crash wants to be in the video now. With them losing all of their variants as, the other Watchers were taking them out. And look, this ends for y'all. And we are going to end every single portion of y'all moving forward. And then Captain Carter goes OP mode and, gets that strength and, takes them out and sacrifices herself for the greater good. There goes my Jurassic World blanket. And I don't mind that. I truly don't. I just think, with this being the Watchers fight, I think it probably should have been the Watcher who took himself out, and then, Captain Carter, Storm, Birdie, and the only girl, I cannot remember her name, they take over as the Watchers in the end. I think that probably would have been more suitable for me than, Captain Carter sacrificing herself to do that. I just think that was the Watcher's moment to do that, to take himself out. And, get them to Doctor Strange's universe, because when they got there, you see the stars align, and there he is. It was a pretty good moment. Again, bringing it full circle to season 1. Doctor Strange was around for all 3 seasons in some way, shape, or form. So to get that little glimpse of him in season 3, and for it to still make sense, I liked that quite a bit. It was just once it ended, and having the shield go off into the stratosphere. And he does the whole opening monologue again, but now you're seeing variants that we probably could have seen if the show was able to continue. That part I liked. I liked all that part. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that once it was over and you're seeing all that, hey, that's pretty cool. I didn't feel much. I did not feel much whatsoever. Like, I was already kind of sad the show was ending. I didn't mind running this gauntlet at all, but once it got to the end, I was just like, man, it was just so big, and like a lot of things were just so big, and I guess at some point, if everything is big, then nothing is big. And again, it just kept escalating, it just kept escalating, and then we had the win, and then it kept escalating, It was just a little frustrating, that aspect to me. Now, I guess with it being the series finale, or that's what I'm told. Again, Disney Plus tells me otherwise. I'm complaining about it accelerating too much, but yet I was still expecting more. I expected to feel more attached to these characters. Again, I do think Riri Williams should have been in there. We probably should just drop the money to have Chris Hemsworth back. I understand why you couldn't have Guardian T'Challa in there. I do think Agatha probably should have been in that fight as well. We had a good little moment with a little nod to that with our original character and the other Watcher fighting in big form. That was pretty cool. Again, Red Guardian, just other characters that we've met in past, and that should have been the team where hey, it took everyone to take these guys down, and maybe I would have had a little bit more satisfaction with that. But yeah, overall, when it comes to this season, to me, again, it's second. Season 2 to me was the season. I feel like they figured it out, and they just figured it out a little too late. I do think What If Season 1, Episode 1 really hurt the show. It was probably dead with it on arrival when they just did, hey, what if this person, or what if Peggy got the shield, and you basically just did the exact same movie, but with different characters. And because I remember when What If Season 1 came out, a lot of people were looking forward to it, and I actually had a trip to my sister's house. She lived in Florida at the time. And I went over, and she was like, okay, I'm ready to watch Season 1. She's a big Marvel fan, just like myself. And we watched Episode 1, and her now fiance were just watching it, and they got done. The first 2 episodes were out. They had no interest to continue after Episode 1. And, with them being, sure, they're hardcore fans. They want to watch as much as everything as possible. They haven't seen everything like myself. But with the casual fan was willing to go, well, that was all right, but, I don't really care to continue on. That hurts your show. And I think within that Episode 1, and again, I love Captain Carter. And again, I love what we do with her in Season 2. But with that episode, I think it just hurt the show overall. And Season 1, again, overall, it has some gems. It did. That Episode 4 episode, Doctor Strange, which was very prevalent throughout the whole entire series. They talk about it in this finale as well. It's also cool to see Madison get a shout out in this as well. That was pretty funny. That became very prevalent throughout the whole entire series. It was one of their best, probably the best episode overall when it comes to What If. But Season 1 just hurt the show overall. Then we get to Season 2. They figured it out, but the viewership wasn't there. That Season 3 had to be it. I also think this season hurt a little bit too due to the delays. Marvel took the year off, but we were supposed to get Ironheart this year. We were also supposed to get Captain America. At the time, New World Order was supposed to come out this year, or it was previous before that. And, we already were attached to Sam Wilson, and we already knew him as Captain America. So that episode didn't really hurt that much. Riri Williams, however, that was like our introduction. It almost kind of felt in the way of like, hey, make sure you watch Ironheart because, this girl's pretty important, right? No, I don't think that. I think it was a case of Ironheart was supposed to be out, and we were supposed to be excited to see Riri Williams in this type of setting. And it, unfortunately, it got flipped over, and now this is the introduction to Riri more than what we got in Wakanda Forever, and now we get her show overall. I think there was just some of those missed opportunities with this season that make it fall a little short to me. I did appreciate, I think, the strongest episodes, and they had a really good moniker going with Episode 2, Episode 3, and Episode 4. I love the Agatha and Ringo episode. Still my favorite overall. Really loved the Red Guardian and Bucky episode, second favorite. And then Darcy and Howard the Duck takes bronze. As wacky as the episode got, because again, they just embraced the what if scenario. And I was like, you know what? Season 3 could top season 2 for me with that 3 run. Then we got to the Riri episode, which I love the concept of it. But where some of the execution just falls a little flat. But that's 4th. Then we get to the Shang-Chi episode, where they're in the West, which was really reminiscent of season 1. And that is last. That is 8th place to me. And then we get these final 2 episodes. They almost got me back with episode 7. And then episode 8, again, just fell a little flat. Just a little too much acceleration. But also, again, at the same time, I was still expecting more. But yeah, overall, this season was fine. It was absolutely fine. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, I'm not going to force you. And if you have no interest in seeing it, well, I'm not going to persuade you to go see it this season at all. But I will go back and watch some of these episodes of season 3. Like I said, Red Guardian and Bucky, Agatha and Gringo, and then Darcy and Howard. I will watch those 3 again. And then season 2, there are a lot of episodes I'm going to watch again. And that I still watch to this day. Season 1, I will still watch that Doctor Strange episode. There are some diamonds in the rough. And again, if a season 4 does get greenlit, I will tune in absolutely for it. But when it comes to this season, again, just fell a little flat, and especially for this finale, it just fell a little flat for me. Left a lot of meat on the bone for me, and again, it just accelerated to so much where it was just like, well, at some point this got to end, and then when it does, it just kind of falls a little flat. Like, I just don't know why he refused to yield. And then, they get to this planet where he has no power, and he goes, you know what, Watcher, you're right. Like, I was like, what? What do you mean? I am curious to see how these characters come back into play. I would assume they're in Doomsday and Secret Wars. I do think there is a way to go about it. Even if it is Doctor Doom coming in and killing them off to start off. Like, it's a nice little nod to the people who did watch. Like, oh my God, it's the Watcher. Oh my God, it's Birdie. And then Doctor Doom takes them all out. And like, all right, now there's no one to watch over the universe. How is this multiverse saga going to end? There is a way to go about it. And I do hope to see them in live action form. It's just, again, this season fell a little flat. But let me know what y'all think about it. Comment below. Let me know if you made it this far within the review. Please leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. We are going to continue on into 2025. We got the Spider-Man show coming up. I think that is the next show we are covering. I cannot remember anything off the top of my head. I was going to do Squid Game, but I think it's too late to do it now, and I have yet to start it, but I will be watching Squid Game. So maybe I'll do that review. So hit that subscribe button if that comes out. If not, I do believe the next show will be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But we do have plenty of movies that are on the way. We're going to start some topic videos as well. And if you're into wrestling, we have a bunch of plans for that as well. So hit that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Limit Studios.